Hey guys, it's Hunter. Welcome back to another episode of Ask Fish. You guys have questions over on Discord. I'm going to answer them. It's a very novel concept, you see. If you haven't joined yet, link to our Discord in the description. That's where I pull the questions from. Plus, it's just a really fun time. And real quick, if you missed the midweek video, there's been a new merch drop, including a very limited time Halloween version of Ray Pickle. Good girl. We got mugs, we got hoodies, everything is super soft. Well, besides the mug, but everything is really high quality. And yeah, merch is one of the best ways to support the channel. So if you want to grab the limited edition drop, that is up now. And while you're checking that out, let's jump into your questions. Ricky asks, any thoughts on the new Gibson signatures and Sweetwater's release on the Sterling by Music Man guitars? Also, love the channel, I've been subbed for a while. Hey, thanks man. It really means a lot to hear from people who have stuck around for a while. At this point, I don't even know what Gibson signatures you're talking about, unless you're talking about how they're seemingly just releasing them out the ass now. And we can definitely talk about that situation in a second, but first let's talk about the Sterlings. If you're not familiar with Sterling, they're kind of like to Music Man what EPIPHONE is to Gibson, affordable import versions of the expensive made in USA models. Honestly, I thought they'd been on Sweetwater. Sweetwater's been a Music Man and Ernie Ball dealer for a long time. Could have sworn they had a limited selection of Sterlings before, but yeah, it makes sense that Sterling would want to be on Sweetwater. It's about time. And I kind of feel bad for poor Bana. He did the promo videos for the Sweetwater launch, and whoever was in charge of sound did him dirty. They messed with the audio, so it sounds a little better now, but when they first went up, I have no idea what happened there. It didn't sound great. And I've noticed with a lot of brands recently, they do not know how to properly handle high gain tones. The launch videos for the 5150 Iconic and the Jackson American Series Soloist come to mind. Scott Ian was trying to chug in that video, and he's like,
that's gonna work.
And it's like, maybe it sounded great in the room. I'm sure it did with an EVH 5150 300 watt head and a 412. But the tone that came through on the video, to borrow a phrase from a good friend, acquaintance, it sounded like fried assholes. But that whole side rant aside, Sweetwater is untouchable in the online space right now. The customer service is ridiculous. Like, if you moved to a deserted island, no trace of civilization, no phone, no internet, they would send you a message in a bottle to make sure that you were doing fine with those strings you bought 6 months ago. More than that though, they actually check the guitars before they're sent out, and from what I understand, they've got the pick of the litter when it comes to new stock. I'm not sure if that's true for all guitars, like even the budget level ones or just the higher tier ones, but still, that is the level that Sweetwater is at. So Sterling in Sweetwater, that's a big deal for them. And they've got a lot of the new models there. The SR50 with the oiled roasted maple neck I really liked. There's the Majesty, which I really don't like, but there are tons of fans of that guitar. The Axis, which is a fan favorite, and the Sabre, which we talked about when it was announced, but now we've got the full specs and details. The auto body, flame maple veneer, bolt-on roasted maple neck, and the big talking point was the Fishman Fluence pickups. Clearly, this is Sterling's stab at super modern. I'll be honest, I must be missing something with the Sabres because what is up with the pricing? And I'm even talking Music Man. I've never understood why they're basically $1,000 more than the Stingray RS. It can't just be the figure top, can it? But yeah, someone help me in the comments, because for the life of me, I do not understand why the Sterling Sabre is a $1,500 guitar. Yes, it's got the Fishman Fluences, but it's got a flame maple veneer, not a full top. And unlike the Music Man version, or even Petrucci's Sterling Majesty, which is the same price, it doesn't have stainless steel frets. It seems like Sterling is great bang for buck at the low mid-range. The 50 series, the SR50 or CT50 are both awesome. Oiled asymmetric roasted maple necks for about $500. Genuinely, those necks are so good. Totally worth it for those necks. Even the more affordable Sterlings, the 30 series, have the super comfortable asymmetric neck shape that sets it apart from other budget strats. But at Sterling's higher end, I'm struggling with it. If you have ideas, let me know, but I don't see how the Sabre is $1,000 more in value than the SR50. And especially in the wider context of the market, and LTD SN 1000 HT, I know it's not exactly the same, and it doesn't have the same neck shape, but allow me for a second. You've got the Fishman Fluences, a sandblasted body, hipshot bridge, bolt-on roasted maple neck, ebony fingerboard with stainless steel frets, 17th fret and up are scalloped. So better specs on paper than the Sabre, and it's cheaper at $12.99. So like, what the fuck? Help me understand. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Sterling. Love that they're at Sweetwater now. The Sabre is a cool guitar. Don't know what the fuck is up with the pricing. Now let's talk Gibson, as we've been doing pretty much every week. And that's probably deliberate on their part. They've been doing a very good job of making sure there's something to talk about pretty much every week. Kind of like Yee, but no anti-Semitism. So credit where credit is due on that, I guess. That's the bar we're at. But Gibson have been doing a great job of making sure there's a new release or new artist signing or a new tease all the time. There's the mod shop selling custom one-offs, a very clever way to make blemished guitars desirable to collectors. That's updated every week. And if you're not a fan of Gibson, I understand it must be annoying to hear about them every week. But bro, no one else is keeping up. Gibson always has something going on. Just this week, they launched Dave Mustaine's limited Gibson custom shop signatures. They're $7,000, which is more than even the Adam Jones VOS Les Paul custom. Weird. Generally, Les Pauls are more expensive than anything else. Comes in two colors, red amber burst and ebony VOS. In typical fashion, only the latter is still available at the time of recording, and they launched yesterday. This is why Gibson feels no pressure to change. They'll deal with attracting the younger generation later, because right now is all about making some stupid bank. Not gonna lie to you, I'm not a huge V fan, but that VOS looks hot. Really dig the custom look with silver hardware instead of gold. Especially aged, it's like my 74 custom in Dave Mustaine V form. I like it, not $7,000 like it, but it's cool. That being said, I am getting real sick of Gibson releasing all these signatures when they still refuse to add a proper 70s model to the USA production lineup. That's a joke for anyone that's confused. Some of the recent signatures have been very cool. Hafey 7-string Origins, Adam Jones Standard. But I was talking to Mark Morton about 70s Les Pauls because he just picked up a 72 custom. Very cool, good year for customs. And the basically ESP thin U necks that are a defining feature of that era are awesome. Apparently they're called the V3 neck, and Gibson told them they were only available through the custom shop. What the fuck? Currently they have a USA Les Paul 70s Deluxe, but it's not the same. It has a volute, but then it's got a big rounded C neck. Why? Even the Adam Jones Standard, supposedly modeled after a 79 custom, has like a 60s neck with big rounded shoulders. It's insane. You have to shell out how many thousands of dollars to the custom shop just to get a thin neck on the Les Paul. I'm not just talking new, even used, by the way, because Adam Jones has completely destroyed the market for New Orleans. So to Gibson, I say stop fucking around with signatures that have an artist tax and make a proper 70s Les Paul, you cowards. Listen, there were a lot of missteps in the Norland era. Looking at you, Corvus, what the fuck? But you know, they could add one thin-necked Les Paul to the main USA and Epiphone lineups, or do something crazy like a Gibson Prophecy. That's not even crazy, they could totally do that. Justice for Norland reissues. Yeah, I wasn't really sure where to go with this question, to be honest. It kind of just turned into a giant rant about Sterling's pricing and how Gibson doesn't currently make the exact Les Paul I like. Quality content, so, thoughts? You know what else I like to rant on about, though? Today's sponsor, Ridge. And if you watch as much YouTube as I do, you've probably heard about them before and how they're redefining the wallet, because traditional wallets kind of really suck. They're big, they're bulky, they somehow accumulate useless stuff, and that just doesn't happen with Ridge. And they're not just a sponsor, this is the one I actually use every day. I love that the designs are sleek, small form factor that can fit into your front pocket. The plate's made of aluminum, titanium, or carbon fiber, or RFID blocking to block scammers from stealing your information, and they're held together by a durable elastic band. The quality is excellent, and to back it up, each wallet comes with a lifetime guarantee. They also make the key case, essentially a sleek, durable, lightweight wallet for your keys. There are loads of colors to choose from to match your style. I'm currently using Forged Pacific. They make awesome last-minute birthday gifts. I got my buddy Navy Aluminum. He loves it. So if you want to see why so many people are switching over to Ridge Wallet, head on over to ridge.com/AGGufish. If you use my code AGGufish, you'll get 10% off your order and free worldwide shipping. Link will also be in the description, and of course, clicking that helps support the channel by letting them know that I sent you. And while you're doing that, let's get back into your questions. Akamanoa asks, how do you handle making an awesome riff that never gets put into a song? Okay, that was kind of a backhanded compliment, but we'll roll with it. You know, these days I try to make sure that the demo tracks are kind of close to a song in that, yeah, there's a lot of riff salad, but I also try to make sure that there's some sort of sensible progression to it. Like the track actually goes somewhere over the course of 2 minutes. For example, if a riff is repeated, I try to make sure that there are additional guitar parts that are added or removed, or the drums go half time, double time, just wherever you want the track to go. But to really answer your question, how do you handle an awesome riff not making it into a full song? I get a lot of comments on here, on Instagram, on TikTok even, that you guys are really enjoying the riffs, really enjoying the short demo compositions. And isn't that a huge part of the point to writing riffs? The fact that anyone enjoys or even gives one shit about riffs I write is further than I thought I'd ever get. So as long as you guys continue to enjoy them, that is very rewarding. Ghost Chow, Purple Gang Leader, asks, hey Hunter, are you ever gonna do a compilation album of the songs that you've done for your demos over the years, similar to how Rabia did Grinding Gears? We want an album from the Agu God himself. Okay, yeah, so despite everything I just said, last question, there are quite a few riffs and demo tracks I think could be reworked into proper songs, and it would be really fun to do so. Probably not a full-length album. With how bad I am at meeting deadlines, you'd never see it. But I've been toying with the idea of doing an EP and involving guests that I've worked with before, or even ones I haven't. Vocals, guest guitar contributions. I've been saying for years I want to do an EP, and I've considered just re-recording and re-releasing demo tracks as a compilation, but that doesn't seem nearly as cool as getting other people involved. I've talked about it to a couple of people already. They're down. I just need to sit down and fucking do it. That applies to a lot of the shit on my to-do list, honestly. And just with moving and building a new studio and adapting to life with a newborn, the EP keeps getting relegated to the far reaches of the back burner. But it is something I really want to do, and especially if I can get musicians that I deeply respect on there. Everyone's on tour right now, so it's a bit difficult to put together. Don't expect anything anytime soon, but I hear you. This has been requested for literally years. It has to happen, and actually, you guys can help me out. What are your favorite demo tracks and riffs that you heard on the channel that you'd want to see reworked onto the EP? Let me know down below. Alright, let's talk the new releases of the week. Keep this on your radar. If, for some reason, you're a fellow pleb and you can't afford Dave Mustaine's $7,000 custom shop Vs, I'm in that group, don't worry. Harley Benton has some new releases. Not a V with an EX headstock, although... I'll get back to you on that one. Anyways, there are new finishes and configurations for the Fusion 3 and Fusion T. These are the $400-ish guitars with roasted maple necks, roasted maple fingerboards, and stainless steel frets, which are obscenely good specs for a budget guitar. This time, less fun pastels, more serious business colors. Fusion 3 first, the Hardtail HH now comes in Flame Bengal Burst. Not quite sure why there are pickup rings on this when there aren't on any of the others, but okay, we move. The HSS Tremolo now has the very popular Natural Flame variant and also comes in Matte Army Drab for my fellow satin lovers. The Fusion T is getting some great colors, satin black, satin white, and flame black blue burst, the latter of which is also available in hardtail. For some reason on the website, the white one looks like it has a gold bridge and maybe gold pole pieces, but the rest of the hardware and the tuners are chrome, so that's kind of a weird one. Might be a trick of the light because they usually don't mix and match colors like that. Moving on to the Jazzmaster-esque JA60CCs. Budget offset, they come in Inca Silver, Shell Pink, Dakota Red, Seafoam Green, and Lake Placid Blue, the latter two of which are available left-handed as well. They're sub $200 and they come with roasted maple necks, which is absolutely ridiculous. Even super budget guitars now have the stability benefit of a roasted maple neck, which just a few years ago was a custom shop only option for ultra expensive guitars. Insane. Binding and block inlays for that highly sought after custom look for Jazzmasters, basswood offset body, Roswell Jazzmaster pickups. Harley Benton desperately needs a proofreader. The website copy says they're P90 pickups. They are not. They also listed the 30-inch scale length JA Baritone as a 27-inch scale length guitar, which confused the hell out of everyone. That one I can kind of forgive though. Whoever wrote the copy just couldn't comprehend the power of a 30-inch baritone. There are a couple of things that separate these JA60CCs from normal Jazzmasters though. These come with the Tune-O-Matic style bridge and tailpiece, kind of like Squire's contemporary active Jazzmaster. So these should feel like a more modern guitar than a regular Jazzmaster. and you won't have that unique tremolo either. The Harley Benton also doesn't have all the extra Jazzmaster controls. People hit me up all the time through the DMs like, hey, when is Harley Benton gonna make a proper Jazzmaster? And I guess we're still waiting, but a sub $200 seafoam green offset with a roasted maple neck makes a hell of a mod platform. What do you guys think of these? There's also new basses, jazz style with roasted maple necks for 179 euros. Again, insane. Comes in sunburst, shell pink, seafoam green, Olympic white, Lake Placid blue, Dakota red, black. I mean, come on. Roasted maple necks on a sub $200 bass is wild. On the other hand, it's bass, so who fucking cares? And that'll do it for this week's episode of Ask a Fish. Again, if you want to catch that very limited merch drop, do it before it's gone. All the links are in the description. As always, thank you so much for watching. You've been awesome, and I will see you for the next video.